All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I want to give all praises to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
double honors to the elders and also the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. With those here at GmsTampa Bay, coming to you through the Spirit, to give you edifying lesson, Lord's will. Going to we're going to go into Luke 17th chapter, starting with like 36. Going to the days of Noah, as Yahushua went into the parable about how things are going to be pretty much business as usual. Right, a lot of wickedness going on, and people thinking that's going to continue on. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 8th chapter. Matter of fact, call me if you can grab it. Sentence against the evil work. Because going to how the Lord judges, he doesn't necessarily always judge right away, especially concerning a build up of a judgment. Going to the prophecy of Esau Edom being built up. As Apostle Paul went into it, that falling away. Right, and then the menace being revealed. I think those things took time, and going into again the time where right now, for the formation of the beast, all right, coming back from that deadly wound, being healed, native to the EU, so-called America being the one on top, is accumulation of events, going to liken on to seasons, things play out, certain, events have to play together for the as chapter says, the vision doesn't speak for itself. In its time, but you can grab that real quick.
Yep. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yep, and the heart being the mind. All right, so keep the verbiage, going to the mind of these people is continually wickedness, right? And of course, Brock, you want to grab that Genesis 6th chapter. Because going to the parable that Yahushua was going into, he's making a comparison to the likeness of his return. And what are going to be people be doing is doing what the hell they want to do, being willful, all right? Especially in this time, this is the most wicked time ever to where wickedness is instantly accessible. You have the internet, things as far as technology goes, ultimately just to forward and strengthen their iniquity. And that's what I was going to say. They exercise themselves in this, all right? Continually being adulterers, worshiping all type of idols, all right, filthy conversations, all right, and it never ends, and eventually going into again the time of coming into the Lord. He said that the time period, like he said, was it said in Peter, he has preserved the time, all right, at this time for fight, just like the old world he preserved for water, all right. So the Lord's together as he's building up his elect, all right, sealing, the house of David, all right, the Lord sealing his elect servants until the time for this place to be destroyed comes, okay. Going to that grace period. Read some more point.
Come. It's like Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 12, and it reads, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
Yep, and this is, going to observations you'll see is that, people that do evil, they stick around. You got Jacob, all of our people selling out, Snoop Dogg's, they got wine bottles, got mixtapes, he got TV shows, and who knows, he has a music video about him selling his soul, so this man is, he's still thriving, but, again, going to him doing evil 100 times, especially going to Esau Edom, so the white man, that's why Yahshua said you have your father the devil, because what is all this is about? It's about the love of money, the love of money, they can do what the hell they want to do, all right, empower their life to just be evil, and that's why Jake sells out, because ultimately they don't know that there's a blessing in store for us at the end of all this. But again, going to all this evil that's being done, people keep doing it because they don't think there's a consequence for it, and that goes into the mindset of a woman. Right? No accountability. It says, accountability. It says, such as the way of the adulterous woman, she wipeth her mouth and said she's done no wickedness. So these people think they're innocent, and that's the delusion these people have is that they live so wrong, and they wonder why so much evil happens onto them. But finish it, Quan.
Yep. Continue on. It says, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall, verse 13, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before the Most High.
So that's why we're not, like it says in the Bible, we're not supposed to be concerned ungodly shall perish and when. We're just supposed to be focused on how we're going to endure and get through these times we're coming into. All right? Because when Noah received the warning, all right, it doesn't mean you can just lay up and no activity. All right, the Lord said, let's see that cometh when he returns, he finds so doing. Noah got instructed to build, not just build whatever he wanted to do. The Lord gave him the instruction, the size, all right, the type of material to use, the gopher wood, all right, you know, and going to again how, you know, Paul went to that parable about being careful how you build. You can't just build your own thing. Our foundation is supposed to be on the belief in Yahweh Shai. Everything else is going to take care of itself, right? But go ahead, Brock, and then someone got Luke 17.
It's the book of Genesis. You want me straight to the point?
Well, hold that. Matter of fact, let's get to the parable and then we'll get into them.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 17, starting at verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
Right, and that's why Yahweh said, blessed is he that read it. What was going on in the days of Noah? If you didn't read the story, you wouldn't know what's going on, right? You wouldn't, you know, go into a mind that's inquiring, why would the Lord flood the earth? People just think it's some kind of just made up story. You know, somebody will say, oh, it's spiritual. No, this actually happened. This is an event. The Lord destroyed all flesh besides those that are on that ship, all right, on that boat. All right, so the same thing in this time, all right? What?
They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage unto the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Yep, so everything was, again, continuing on as usual, all right? You know, society going on, people, of course, they seen the prophet Noah, because Noah was a prophet, all right, out there building, all right, and his sons helping him, wondering what the hell was going on for 100 plus years, all right, and they, you know, that's a couple generations right there, all right, you know, having kids, all right, them growing up being scoffers, saying, look, this is so-and-so building, they still ain't rain yet, is it raining yet, you know, that same mindset, and then going to, again, what they were doing their own will, until the Lord rained water upon that place, okay, until Noah was sealed, and that boat was closed up and sealed up. Then the destruction came. That's how it's going to play this time.
There's a remnant that was putting in work to the Lord, you know, doing that which was commanded of them. And like the brother's going into, it's the same thing in these last days. Those same men are back here again, just like the scoffers were.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's why it says there's no new thing under the sun. Those same spirits back then, they're back here on earth again. All right, being scoffers, standing there a lot, you know, being ready to be vessels of dishonor. But I'll read that one more time and then we'll get that, bro.
Going back in Luke chapter 17 and verse 27, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Mm-hmm. So that time of liberty, all right, which you can grab, and somebody can grab Penezra's, was the second, that's 9th chapter, all right, you know, you have it?
You had liberty?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Because this time that we have now, you know, you're supposed to use it wisely. You're not just supposed to be, as it says in Prophet as well, people just see this as a market for gain. Just do what you want to do, and then, hey, this all means nothing at the end of the day. That's what they think. All right?
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. You know, that's why people live purposeless lives, because they don't understand that they're not just here. They're just here for themselves. That's what they think. All right? But they're here to serve. The whole duty is to serve the Most High, keep His commandments and fear Him. Right? But go ahead.
9, and I'll start at verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
And as Yahweh said, if I had not come, they had not sinned. You can't say I didn't know. All right, especially now in the time of information, you'll spend hours and hours trying to find ways to make money, but you're not going to spend no time to figure out how to deliver your soul. All right, because as I said, where your eye is or where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be. So if your heart's here on the earth, and that's why we're going to get into eventually the parable about Lot's wife. All right, you're looking back, you're longing for the world. Hey, you're not going to be fully prepared to move on and look towards the heavens, because you're still stuck on the earth. You know,
they're serving their belly, you know, the flesh.
Exactly.
You know, which is of this world, you know. But those that are of the spirit, of the living spirit, they're serving the things in heaven, you know, things in the heavens, you know, which is the Lord's will. Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to, again, the prophets being raised up, you hear a warning. All right, you hear the word, and it's supposed to do something to you. All right, but Jake just hear the word and bob in the head. You don't know what the hell's going on. All right, someone grab that Hebrews.
Who shall blow a trumpet?
Yep, that too, of course, because you know if you have a spiritual.
Is that one in Hebrews?
Well, I'm thinking about that's in Amos, but I'm talking about it'll go into it. Yeah, Hebrews 11.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
You want to finish this one or get that one real quick?
Finish that and then.
Verse 10.
Okay.
It says, for as such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. And you know, that's the thing, is it said, for such as in their life have received benefits. The benefits that they received first and foremost was Yahushua being sent out onto the earth to be a sacrifice, to preach the good news, to teach that to his men, so that it would be, the good news would go out to the four corners of the earth. Okay, but then the apostles, the disciples, the prophets of old, it was always the same thing. That was the benefit that the Lord was giving them. And Yahushua himself said that you should not receive, any other sign but the sign of Jonah, which was symbolic of the prophets, man. That's all you're going to get. Okay, so that's your benefit right there, is that the Lord is still giving you a way to be delivered, to be saved, but the majority of these people, they're not taking advantage of the benefit, so to say. Jacob is quick to go to food stamps, but when it comes to go and receive the benefits of the Lord, they don't want to do it. That goes to show you who the Israelites are. Because if this was opened up to all nations, you best believe we've had all types of different nations at camps, man. You've had Gooks out there learning. You'll have Edomites. You have Elamites out there, man. But because it's Israel is a hard-headed, rebellious people, man. They don't want to get right, man. The majority of these people love living in the flesh, man. They're going to be destroyed, man. Until the flood came. That's how it ended in that Matthew 24, man. Given in marriage until the time that the flood came, man. See, there ain't gonna be no second warning, man. This is the one warning you're getting. The next warning is gonna be when that wave smacks you in the face, man. That besom of destruction. Okay. Let me finish that reading it again. Verse 11, it says, "They that have loathed my law," meaning you hated it, while they had yet liberty. You see, you hated it because why? You weren't a servant unto righteousness. You were a servant unto sin. And the serving of the sin makes you, being a servant under sin makes you free from righteousness. So when the law, which is righteous, okay, when it's presented to you, you don't want to go to something that in your eyes is strict. Yeah. Jake don't want to stop eating pork. And what do you mean I can't get lined up no more? What do you mean I got to give up smoking? But see, they would rather be servants on the sin because it allows them to be free from righteousness. Okay? And that's what makes them hate the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we understand that we're not under the law right now, but we are justified by faith. And Jake can't even get that. Jake don't even want to step up and have faith in the Lord, man. Jake always got some excuse. Well, who wrote that? Oh, I don't believe in something I've never seen. Well, hey, the scripture says, "Blessed is he that believeth and have not seen." So maybe you just ain't blessed, and that's okay. We understand that's gonna be a majority of people, but are you okay with that?
I got you perfect precept, because the brother hitting a good point. 1 Peter 2:15. "For so is the will of the Most High, that with well doing ye put to silence the ignorance of foolish men." This is the point. "As free," so like the brother said, Yahushua came, so us being free, free from the law. All right, now we're subject to the law of faith. So basically, you have to. It's required, as it was required for you to obey the law. All right, back then, now it's required for you to believe. That's required. That's a requirement. All right.
And real quick, if I might say this, because you be scoffers out there, we're not saying that you don't have to keep the law. You still have to keep it to the best of your ability, but you're not justified by the keeping of the law, is what we're saying. Because scoffers will say, "Well, see, they say that we under." You have people who come up with shit, but
yeah. So we basically, we're under grace. All right. It says, "As free and not using your liberty." So as Ezra said,
yeah.
All right, while they yet had liberties, and you go into that word liberty, right? Okay, one of the definitions that hit home, all right, the purest definition of that word in the Greek is
Strong's G 1657, eleutheria.
All right, and it says true liberty is living as we should, not as we please. Okay, so that's true liberty. So not to do whatever the hell you want to do, as it says, living as we should. As the brother said, what's the whole duty of man? Fear the Most High, keep His commandments. That's living as we should, not as we please. That's what true liberty is. Liberty is not going wherever to do whatever the hell you please. It's living as you should. Okay. So let's go back to that precept. All right.
Yeah, so, because liberty and freedom are two different things. Like, going to freedom means you have absolutely nothing, to take care of. Like you just do. But liberty is different. Like you're still held accountable. Like here in America, you get, which is a wicked world. But liberty means you're given, the privilege, right, to be a normal citizen.
Yeah. So it says, as free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of the Most High, man. All right.
Real quick, if I may tie it back to those two precepts, Matthew chapter 24, as in the days of Noah, and then also the brother's going to eventually bring it out, but that Genesis, because what it say that the people were doing in the last days, marrying, eating, drinking, giving onto marriage, and in Genesis 6, we're going to get into it here in a little bit. It says, why did the Lord bring the judgment? Because the wickedness was at an all-time high, and there was violence on the earth. So it goes to show you that in Matthew 24, it was telling you what was going on, the wickedness that was doing. People were eating, drinking. And it's not there because people say, well, there's nothing wrong with eating and drinking. No, but y'all, the level that y'all take it, y'all are gluttons. Y'all be partying at these restaurants. You go with men or you go with women that have men, out to eat. And it's all types of wickedness that occurs from all these things that these people do. They're not doing it in righteousness like we do when brothers go out. We go to fellowship, we don't eat no pork, no shit like that. We're not in a wicked spirit like these people are, a party spirit. Because the majority of these people, what they do is it's called revelings. Okay, that's ultimately what they're out there doing, man. Frolic some fellows, drinking, until the lights go down, and then there's music playing and stuff like that. That's your typical Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in America, man. And be careful if there ain't a Tuesday, Wednesday for women's, women's getting free or whatever, but keep going on that.
That was it. So the liberty we got within Yahweh Shai, all right, which freed us from basically the law, but we're still subject to the law, as it say, shall we make void the law through faith, God forbid. But the freedom that we have, man, all right, it's the liberty to do the right thing, all right, not to just do whatever the hell you want to do,
right?
Okay, it's like majority of the people are doing. We ain't under the law, because we was under the law, all you'd be dropping dead left and right. You know what I'm saying? even us,
Exactly.
But the point is that look what you guys are doing with your liberty. You're taking it to
deliciousness.
Exactly, to do evil with it, man. We're actually, at least we're taking it and trying to do the right thing with the liberty that was given unto us.
Right. Because that's what people like to ask that too is, well, what if you're wrong? Well, if I'm wrong, well, then I lived try to live a good life, according to what this book says,
Right.
But that we know that that's not the case. We know that this word is to be true, and we know that the Most High is the only living power, man. We don't doubt that for 1 second. But these people have those questions because they can't fathom. These people is not built in them to believe. Even 2/3 of Jake here in America, they're not built to believe, man. They're not. They're going to be destroyed because they're of the father of the devil. Okay, even though they're Israelites. That's why it goes on to say here in this 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 12, the same was nor after death by pain. You're gonna know of the liberty that you got. Like the brother went into it, the way you ought to live. You're gonna know it by your death. You're gonna learn of how you're supposed to live because it's gonna be put in you when you come back. Okay? What you guys got?
Read the parable and then get to Genesis 6.
Going back in Luke chapter 17. Going back in verse 27, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Yep, so that great was the deluge, great, how you say it? The deluge, what they call it in history, which there's plenty of accounts of other nations recording the flood. All right, that's what actually happened. In the modern day floods be by missiles, but again, going to the time now, again, it's the same setup. People get real comfortable, right? Get real complacent, and again, they don't understand that you're not on earth just for fun. All right, you have a duty to do. All right, the Lord, as he said in Malachi, he doesn't change. He's not okay with what's happening in the world right now. He's just letting you build up your case until what? He brings that great judgment, which is going to the destruction of this wicked world. All right, well, go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Right, so the angels, all right, which are the ministers of the Lord, they go throughout the earth back and forth giving a report. As if you can grab that Kwame Sirach says, the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right, so everything you're doing is being recorded. All right, that's why, again, the points of bringing up the grace is because we know we don't have it all together. All right, because if we were judged according to that standard the Lord left us with, none of our forefathers could keep it. All right, so this is right now in the time we're in, it's called a rehearsal. All right, we're rehearsing the righteous acts, meaning we're practicing to the best of our ability because these laws ain't going nowhere. All right, but this ultimately shows your sincerity about if you really want to serve the Lord or you don't, especially coming to the time of the hour of temptation. Right? You got it, Quan?
Yep, this is Sirach 23 and verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
Right, and that's what you people do. You love fearing the eyes of men. All right, you know, you get pulled over by a police officer or whatever. You know, as far as examples of how you move, you always worry about somebody else watching you. All right, how much more how about you and the angels? All right, which they don't give no half-ass reports because Jake forgets shit. You know, but the angels don't. Everything you did, every detail, all right, is being reported. All right, because the Lord, he said he's a power that's near. He's not a power that's far off. All right, he's always involved. It says a just Lord in the midst thereof. There's not one thing that gets past him. All right, so how much more you being funky on the earth doing how you want to do? Okay, the Lord's not gonna. It's what you just talked about. You have to sit in that judgment seat. All right, and the Lord's gonna weigh you out whether it be for good or evil. And if you don't have no faith, all right, and the Lord, which you know, not all faith is fake. Okay, because you got a lot of guys, even with the name of the Lord calling on them, and they're not in the right spirit, man. That's why the Lord says there's going to be a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth. Right? The Lord's about to disappoint a lot of people, man. That's why we say, woe to the desire to day the Lord. Right? I'm going to go ahead, go on.
Yep, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
Right, so this is just to give you an idea how the Lord sees everything. All right, the sun, when it's lit, it lights up everything. And you can't look at the sun for a few seconds. All right, before your eyes start burning up. So 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right, I mean the Lord, because it goes into the light. All right, what John 3rd chapter. All right, light's come into the world, but men has loved darkness rather than light. Because why? Because they don't want to be reproved. Because they know that they're evil. That's the first thing someone does when they're wrong. They get defensive. All right, and what they want to do, they want to run. All right, see their body language. And that's what Jake is right now. All right, they don't want to be held accountable because this is that adult generation I was talking about. All right, that was it, Quan.
A little bit more, it says, behold, all the ways of men, in considering the most secret parts.
Yep. So the Lord get real deep. Okay. You know, the Lord can see past all your bullshit. You know, because Jake can talk his ass off. Okay. Jake is a really good bullshit artist, and they get it from him. Who? He saw him to a white man. All right. Words smooth and buttered. You know, making me feel good. Think about a nigga trying to sell you a car. Okay. The dude is real good. All right. You start believing everything he's saying. He's thinking he care about your family and shit. All right. He's just trying to sell you a car. All right. You know, again, going to the Lord, he sees everything, man. So again, everything. Okay. You know, the things that you're planning to do, things you're gonna try to do. All right. The Lord sees because he's in control. He's the omnipotent power. Okay. So again, knowing that, okay, that means you want to please that man. All right. That man that's on that seat. Because why? Because if he sees everything you're doing, all right, and you can't get nothing past him. So the first question is, how do I make him happy? All right. How do I serve him? How do I please him? And the Lord said it's impossible to please him without faith. All right. And of course, keeping his ways.
Yeah, real quick, this is Ecclesiastes 12, and I'll start at 13, the points of 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, which the brother just said. Verse 14, for the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So that's the eyes of the Lord beholding all things, man. The Lord is going to bring everything that you do, whether it be for good or for evil, it's going to be brought to judgment, man. And just like in that movie Wizard of Oz, when they put the egg on the scale, it's going to weigh. It's going to give you a weight for that, a weight for what you produced, and you're going to be judged accordingly, man. Like I said, okay. So that's why a lot of people are going to die, because their sacrifice is going to be an unworthy sacrifice. Okay.
Yeah, because they're poor towards the Lord.
Right. So then they got to be sacrificed.
That's it. Yep, that's the payment. Well, I'm gonna say you're gonna be up here with me.
Yep.
So I got some pretty much tying in what you brothers going into. A point that you actually made earlier, Michael, was going into how there's a buildup to before the Lord actually overthrows that empire or that certain kingdom. Lord will just, you got to go to the furthest extent of your wickedness, man. And that's why Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, the 10th verse, it says, pride has budded. You go into the word budded, it means to flourish or sprout up. All right, so this is real quick. Proverbs 16 and verse 4 in NLT, it says, the Lord Yahweh has made everything for his own purpose, even the wicked for a day of disaster. All right, and so everything has its purpose for the Most High's Yahweh use. All right, and this is why he established these great empires that our nation of Israel went into captivity under, starting off with the Assyrians all the way down. But these were wicked heathens, man. So how much more Esau, Edom, and Babylon the Great, and 2/3 of our people, as the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Then I got one more scripture real quick to tie back to the Most High, Yahweh Shemshai issuing out the judgment, all right, to everybody, man. And we just hope that when the Lord do visit us in our time, that we're spared, because the scriptures say the Lord Yahweh know how to deliver the righteous, the godly out of temptation. So when our temptation is presented and made mandated, we're hoping to be a part of that godly that's reserved for salvation from the said perils. So this is Jeremiah 17, and I'm gonna read this in the NLT, 2 scriptures. All right, Jeremiah 17 verse 9, the human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really know how bad it is? But I, the Lord Yahweh, search all hearts and examine secret motives. I give all people their due rewards according to what their actions deserve. All right, so to go back to a point that like I made, how can I make this man happy who's issuing out all these rewards? All right, and whether it's good or evil. Well, first and foremost, what is he pleased in? Faith. All right, so that's why you have these men out here that separated themselves from the nation of Israel and conducted themselves in a holy conversation, seeing all these things shall be dissolved, man.
Yeah, and that's why it says, wisdom not should be displayed at that time. People don't understand that the Lord is the one that kills. All these horrible things that you see on earth, terrible disasters, the Lord literally tells you he did it, So knowing the Lord does that, again, that's the points of fear, all right? And then the whole duty, you have to fear the Lord. You're going to have to learn the fear of the Lord. You people don't fear the Lord, okay? Till something happens to you, they're saying, oh my God, all right? Then you start thinking, because when you're in adversity, you start thinking a little bit. You're in that jail cell, you start thinking a little bit, And that's what adversity does to you. That's what the Lord's about to bring the greatest adversity to ever happen upon earth, man, to make you people think. And you're still not going to turn from your wickedness. That's why the Lord is going to destroy this place.
Real quick, quick example, going to Mayan speak about you're going to be weighed, and I forgot, Quan just touched on something real fast. I did exactly what he said. But consider Job, man. All right, as the brother just said, okay, in adversity, then you're gonna start to self-examine. The scripture says, examine thyself daily. You want to start examining yourself when adversity come and all these things come upon you. When you're supposed to do that daily, making sure you walk in a straight path in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So real quick, this Job 31:3. It says, it's not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity. Does not he see my ways and count all my steps? Like as the brother's going into, the Lord sees every specific detail, every work that you do, the Lord sees. Okay? He says, if I have walked with vanity, or if my foot have hasted to deceit, all right, in the NLT, NIV, so like it says, does he not see my ways and count my every step? If I have walked with falsehood, or my foot has hurried after deceit. Verse 6, it says, let me be weighed. The brother Mayam says, through the Spirit, you're going to be weighed, man. So it says, let me be weighed in an even balance, that the Most High may know my integrity. All right? It says, let God weigh me in honest scales. So you're going to be, this ain't going to be no rigged scale. All right? It's going to be an honest scale, like how they, every once in a while, each gas station is visited by basically an inspector to calibrate the gas to make sure that amount of gas is going in your car. They got people that actually do inspection. That's why you see that little sticker on a gas station that said inspected or inspection, because they got to make sure it's calibrated correctly, that you give $20, you get that much of gas, because they can have it rigged to where like
it gives you $5 worth.
Exactly, you gave them $20. So
it's going to do not tear. Or call this number if it's torn.
Yep.
You see it torn.
Yep. So it's gonna be as I say, an honest scale, man. It says, let God weigh me in an honest scale. So it's gonna be none but honesty, man. The Lord is he ain't gonna say, oh well, you know, no, he gonna give you an honest report on your behavior, man. All right. It says, "Let me be weighed in an even balance, that the Most High may know my integrity, and if my step have turned out of the way, and my heart walk after my eyes, and if any blot have cleaved to my hands, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out." So he's like, if I'm wicked, just get rid of me.
Yeah.
You know, even King David said, "Try my heart. You know, try my reins." So the Lord is about to try a lot of your people's heart, and you finna get put to the test of integrity, man. Okay, this is the ultimate test of that inner man. As the scripture say, the Lord look not the outward appearance, but he searches the hearts of man. The Lord is about to search a lot of people's hearts, man.
Just to add on to what you're saying, the scriptures say that if judgment first began at us, what shall it be unto them that believe not the gospel? So the judge that us being put in that, we understand that there's an end, but we've been going through that affliction. The men of the Lord, that is the elect, they're going already through that affliction now, so that when it comes time to get put on that balance, we're found with favor because we've been polished up.
Exactly.
Here it is, you're coming to the Lord, you're being presented to the Lord, and you're filthy as hell, man. Why do you think the scripture says, "Let the filthy be filthy still"? Because hey, the Lord is gonna come and clean your ass up. You don't want to get it after the second and third admonition. Hey, you gotta deal with the boss then. We try to warn you. You know.
Yeah, because that's what the Lord talks about, diverse weights. You know,
Right.
that's abomination. You know, Jacob's a diverse weight, believing in all type of stuff. You know, and that's why that fire is gonna polish them, like the brother's talking about. It's gonna be, Mark God says, it's a missile soap. You know, but you got something, Brock? You said?
Oh yeah, come. The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, starting at verse 18.
We're gonna go back to
It says, "For Hamashiach also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to the Most High, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison." You know, that's pretty much the lot that we in right now, you know. The scripture say, "Those that are troubled, rest with us." You know, so this is to free you from that burden. Like the brothers been going into, you know, this isn't freedom, you know, you have the liberty. It's pretty much that grace period. All right, verse 20 says, "Which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah." So pretty much going to the patience that the Lord had in the 120 years while Noah was building the ark. So I'm start verse 20 over. It says, "Which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls, were saved by water." So pretty much this is the patience that the Lord is having, that long suffering, when he still got his hand reached out. But like the brother started off with, as in the days of Noah, you know, the Lord gave that grace period. He gave that liberty, and they knew not until the flood came. And that's pretty much the same situation that's happening right now. That's what scripture say, as in the days of Noah, you know.
Yeah, because liberty pretty much is that down payment. You know, you still got to pay back that interest. You know, and then liberty, you know, going to again the liberty that we've been given. All right, you know, it's really just an opportunity. That's what the Lord gave us. You know, he gave us opportunity, and that's what we're doing. To the best part, we're making the best of our opportunity. All right, because that's what you say, make your calling election sure. All right, but going to Noah, says he was a preacher of righteousness, and by him preaching righteousness, he brought in the flood of the ungodly. He brought in the flood of the ungodly, and that's what speaking of our elders, apostles, and downs, we're doing. We're bringing in the destruction. All right, and either on the right side of the door or on the wrong side of the door. All right, and that's what I like to talk about. And that's true. Because if you're looking up, all right, you know, and you see missiles coming, then we're gonna be, you know, swimming alive, of course. But you know, then the point is that if you're not on that ship, you know, when destruction comes, then you missed your boat. You know.
Can I get a quick precept to go tie back to the lesson we're going into?
Yeah.
Because the brother made a beautiful point. Barak, you know, pretty much, you know, the Lord is very long suffering, man. And that's what, as in the days of Noah showed, as Noah was building, right, prophesying for 120 years, it was still wickedness going on, exceedingly, right? So how much more, like the brother Mike Allen just mentioned, when the nukes actually fly off, pride has reached its maximum. It's reached its level. The Lord's patience has exceeded to that point where now he's getting ready to visit everybody, right? So real quick, I'm going to read this in the NLT. Romans 9:22. And when that time do come, you want to hope that you did all you could for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, to make it on that chariot. It says, Romans 9:22 in the NLT, in the same way, even though the Most High has the right to show his anger in his power, he is very patient with those on whom his anger falls, who are destined for destruction. So the Lord is showing his great patience, all right, on the anger he's getting ready to bestow upon the vessels of fitted for destruction, man. All right, and it said who are destined for destruction. So even though you people are your destiny, your lot, your portion in this time is destruction, the Lord is exercising his patience. He's showing us how patient he is and giving us this grace period, man, to get ourselves together before that great day, as it is written in Zephaniah, that ye may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, you know.
Yeah, well, it was in Genesis 6, so I'll get back to Genesis. Yeah.
Back in the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 5, it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Right, so is that not happening now, today? All right? Wickedness of man on the earth is just ridiculous. You got all type of stuff going on the earth to where, you don't even get surprised no more. All right? You see certain things, certain articles, you don't get surprised. Okay? These pedos and alphabets and transformers and just walking around the earth, getting all type of chances to just be wicked. All right? And this is a sign, again, as we're going to go into, this is a sign of spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? Because again, these people are without fear doing what they're doing on earth, not knowing that there's lingering judgment. All right? And that's again going to them not being prudent, because you doing this, all right, best believe there's a great judgment for all this. Okay? But people don't understand it. All right? And they're not going to understand until it's too late.
Real quick, just on that point of they're not going to understand they're not going to know the judgment until it comes, and not be prepared for it. Because you mentioned something about it earlier too. Just to hit this point before we move on. Sirach 11, and I'll start at verse 26. It says, "For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways." You see, and that day of death is getting ready to come to a lot of people on the earth.
The second death.
Exactly. That's right. There you go. It's beautiful. The next verse, the affliction of an hour, the hour of temptation, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. So a lot of people are getting ready to forget about all this good life that you're living, all these good times that you're enjoying being wicked. All that shit gonna be forgotten.
Yeah. The scriptures speak about sins for pleasures of sin for a season.
Right. There you go.
Seasons change.
Yeah, from one to another.
Yeah.
So it's about to be rabbit season on a lot of motherfuckers on YouTube. Shit. But see, it said the affliction of an hour maketh the man forget pleasure, because you're gonna forget all about it, man.
Exactly.
And all you're gonna be dealing with is Jacob's trouble. That's it.
Horror shit.
Yep. Good Lord. But you brothers got it.
And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Yep. And that's the Lord now. All right? Even going into Yahushua, because he said he comes in the same mindset of his father. He said, what will I have already be kindled? The Lord wanted to do this a long time ago. So again, going to long suffering of the Lord, that just shows you again the point of it being all the word of the Lord. Okay? Came to a point now where technology had to increase, everything had to play out according to its time. All right, but the Lord, as Scripture say, he's angry with the wicked every day. Every day the Lord's pissed off. All right, because again, what's going on on this world, and that's why I said in 2 15 chapter, he's not gonna hold his tongue back no more concerning their wickedness. There's gonna be a time where he's gonna speak on it. It's happening now. When the Lord raises up the servants and prophets, that's it. All right, the Lord's not turning back his prophets, bringing back home. I was just playing. They're gonna be there till the famine of the word comes. And then when the famine of the word comes, that's when things are gonna get really, really bad. And that's about the time we're at right now. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air.
Right. So this is who the word calls God. This is his mind. The Lord was about to destroy everything that he made. Okay? He didn't care if it was a bug. He didn't care if it was a bird. He didn't care if it was you. The Lord, again, he's in that same mindset. Okay? But again, going to the sacrifice of Yahushua, he has men covered to be delivered from this time. Okay? And you go into, again, how judgment's going to play out. And everybody's going to be destroyed. All right? Just specifically so-called America in this next world war. in Babylon the Great, when the missiles start flying, other places are going to be hit too. All right, because they're going to be that MOTV system going on around the world in China, all right, around the world, but going into, again, the things that's going to happen, you're going to have a lot of elites hiding, okay, from the judgment, okay, going in bunkers and going out of space.
Let the rocks hide me.
Yeah, that's how bad it's going to be. So and again, going to the point being prideful, this nigga is on top of the world right now, okay, and he's going to get to a point where he's scared, okay, this devil's fleeing, okay, to the mountains and fleeing to hide from the wrath of the Lamb, okay, that's going to show you how bad it's going to be on the earth. And you niggas have no idea, okay? They get the reports, okay? And it says they were terrified, all right? They're getting all type of reports, UFO here and uproars here, and then this nigga got that, and this is happening. And, this is not a good sign, man, and that's why they're getting real antsy. And that's why the Lord's going to put a spirit on them, as the Lord says in the showing the days. He's going to harden this nigga, all right? To where now the Lord's going to start magnifying his signs and wonders in modern day Egypt, And a sign and wonder is the Lord flooded the earth, okay? And he's about to do it again by fire, so good. And then those will get into the lot, and then we'll wrap it up. Finish.
I'm bringing back 7 again. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, any creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Yeah, and this was back then, okay? When, technology wasn't as it is now. All right, things are, or they are now, weren't like then, okay? Men had more virtue, okay?
Exactly.
They were a little more sensible. They weren't so bugged out. All right, they ate right foods. They didn't have GMOs, okay? So how much more now is the Lord pissed off, all right?
Hey, real quick, because adultery, social media is at an all-time high due to, as your brother said, technology. All right, social media. All right, you got your woman. She got a social media account. She can do nothing but just flirt with men all day. A dude liking her pic, that's him flirting.
That's adultery.
That's flirting. You know what I'm saying? He only got to say nothing to her.
Exactly.
Every time he posts, he just like her. He like her photo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
Straight eyeballing.
Yeah, and she's seeing it every time this nigga like her photo. She's able to see it. So that is just. It's just also such avenues just for wickedness, man. It's this place is just a cesspool. It's just so easy just for wickedness, man. So the Lord he finna do a number on this place, man.
That's why when we read in verse 5, it said that the Most High, he searched their thoughts and seen that all their imaginations
Exactly.
and their thoughts was only evil continually. So going back to what brother was going to earlier, the inner part, like you can only hide things, bro. Quan brought it out earlier, you can hide things in front of men, but the Lord, he's searching the reins. Right. Verse 8, last verse right here says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh.
Right, so Noah found grace, right, which is an opportunity. The Lord gave Noah opportunity, and those 100+ years, what was Noah doing? He made the best of his opportunity because he moved with the fear and he started building, all right? And grace is not the second covenant like you weirdos are saying, all right? You got weirdos saying grace is the second covenant, all right? Noah received grace before the first and second covenant, all right? So that's not what it is, all right? The second covenant is when we get changed and we get that marriage up in the chariots. All right, that's when it's fulfilled. Now we're in the middle ground. We're rehearsing.
Exactly. It's a process.
Exactly.
It's processing. When you buy a house, it's a payment pending. So why is pending? Do you go in there and just start moving in? And no, you gotta wait till everything's finalized.
Closed.
It closed out until it's closed out. And it ain't closed out yet. If it's closed out, we'll be in the ships with new bodies, and we'll be in the kingdom, man.
But the Holy Spirit was the first part of it.
Exactly. It's a process, man.
Exactly. Do you have the Hebrews, Quan?
Yeah, this is Hebrews 11, right to the point, right?
Yeah.
Hebrews 11 and verse 7. And it reads, by faith, Noah being warned of the Most High, of things not seen as yet.
Right, so that requires faith, believing in things we have not seen yet, okay? The Lord gave Noah the warning, and what's the first initial reaction? The fear, all right? The fear. And what did he do with the fear? He took heed. He believed. Exactly.
Because we didn't. At the end of the day, we haven't physically seen with our eyes that we have now. We haven't seen Yahushua sacrifice himself for us, but we have to believe in what he did, man. Because we were talking about the process of us getting into that new covenant. Yahushua shedding his blood for us had to partake first for us to even get into this grace period. Yahushua had that was the first part. Yahushua put himself up as a sacrifice. That was the first step into getting into the new covenant, man.
And what proves that, because like you said, we have to have faith. What proves his existence is the prophecies.
Right. Exactly.
Because the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecies. We see the thermonuclear build up.
His words coming to pass.
That's it. That's it. Continuing on.
Which shows that that's him.
Exactly.
Which makes it plain. Oh, well, that's Yahushua.
He said that
real.
No other record, no other so-called guide warned us of his time besides the Lord, man. The scripture.
The living water.
Because that's what everybody likes to say is, but man wrote that. Okay, so let's not even get the precept where it says written of men that were inspired.
Yeah.
What other shit that was written by men hundreds of years ago is coming to pass?
Right. That's how one made.
It could be a made up story all you want, but these made up story things are coming to pass.
Yeah, you gotta be like, it's a point you gotta consider. Like, damn, this made up, but it's on point.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing proof of the ark itself. It's right. Mount Ararat.
Turkey.
You know.
Quick one real quick. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 1, because we're just going to Genesis 6, I believe, verse 8 it was, and say Noah, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. You know, it's pretty much, the Lord revealing his secrets unto you. And that's mercy from the Lord, But this 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9, it says, who have saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Yahushua HaMashiach before the world began, but is now made manifest by the appearing of our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, who hath abolished death and hath brought life and immortality to light through the gospel. Like Apostle Paul just said, this grace was already given before the world began. So even before the time of Noah, you see, so the Lord already had it set to preserve, that seed line. Pretty much all the nations, because all the nations came back out of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, but ultimately down to here us in these last days. This is the Lord once again extending that grace, and it was fulfilled when Yahushua came and was crucified. His blood was shed. But you know what I'm saying? That the Lord, you come into the truth, you hear that word, that's the Lord extending that grace unto you. He give you a chance to repent and to get your shit together.
Yeah, because even if he knew you was part of like 100,000%, you still have to do what you got to do. Think of Yahushua. He knew exactly who he was, But did that stop him from doing what he had to do? Of course not. He could have just chilled, laid up. He said, I could call legions, I don't got to do this shit, But he prayed to the Father, and let that will be done. He feared the Most High.
That's right.
And that's what you niggas don't have. You don't fear the Most High.
You take lightly to the warning, to the word, man. All right, you take it lightly. All right, if something bad was about to happen, okay, and somebody let you know what was up before it took place, that's crucial information. That's very vital information that someone is giving you. All right, it may not be nothing tangible, like gold, silver, house, cars, money, but shit, they gave you some vital. That's worth more than gold. That's why I speak about wisdom. All right, being worth more than rubies, man. That's wisdom that they gave you, put you on game.
It's just like in the story of Jonah, when he said Nineveh go be thrown down in 40 days. The leader, the Syrian, he called a fast for the whole nation, cattle and everything. Because they took the word serious. Like I said, they take lightly the warning. They took it serious back then, but now they just continue to make sport of the prophets.
Going back to Hebrews 11, verse 7 from the top. By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear.
There you go.
Fear is heavy.
Prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Yeah, he condemned the world. He was prophesying against it. Noah was not prophesying with the world. Right? This world-friendly prophets don't exist. All right, Noah was hated. You best believe Noah caught a lot of hell. All right, but going to the Moses got the download. This is pretty much a summary of what happened. In the book of Genesis. All right, but you can best believe Noah was catching a lot of hell. All right, getting a lot of flack from his own, because there was a lot of people on earth back then. All right, he had uncles, he had nieces and nephews, I'd assume. All right, and they didn't make it. All right. You know, so again, going to time now, we're condemning the world just by us acting how we're acting. All right. Because by how us turning toward the Lord to the best of our ability, calling the names, knowing the true breakdowns, all right, knowing the Lord as thus say the scriptures, not priests of men, all right, we're condemning the world just by our conduct, all right, and that's what Noah was doing. He condemned the world just by his conduct. He was building, okay, so what excuse do you guys have? Okay, we work with you, we live with you, we're around you every single day, and guess what? You guys still don't get it, all right, you know, because again, that's going to the time the Lord is sending the same atmosphere of how it was in Noah, times of Noah, all right, you know, but you want to get that on?
Which one?
The verse 6.
Oh, Con. He didn't get that one right, Con.
Oh, what you start at what verse?
7. Yeah.
Oh, we started at 7? Well,
So
jump
we-
up.
yeah.
Jump up one verse. Go.
All right, this is Hebrews. All right. Hebrews 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
So without faith, automatically, man, Elder Rumbach went into it again. Like, we don't have, in this time, angels coming to us and confirming what we're doing. All right? Goes to show you how powerful the measure of faith Yahweh Shemi Shai has given his men in these times. Because nothing, the only thing we got that's going to confirm what we're doing, and at the same time still takes faith to believe, is the prophecies. All right? These things are coming to pass. Okay? As far as the confirmation of angels coming, we have much greater faith in this time, all right, than we did back then, because you know, even then, you know, they were seeing we ain't seen really, you know, no physical miracles right now. You know, we able to identify them with the spiritual lens, you know, but we ain't seen no actual miracles in this time. So the measure of faith is so much greater now. All right, go ahead.
Yep. It says, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is.
Which is a slight translation of his name. Must believe that he is. Yahweh, he is. His name is what it is. He is, man. All right, you must believe that he exists, that he is, man. Okay, go ahead.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Okay, and he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him, man. All right, so there's a reward. The Lord is going to reward us for diligently seeking him, for searching this thing out. Okay, but I want to hit the point where him that comes most high must believe that he is. The scriptures say Noah heard it and feared. All right, he was moved by the fear, because this is God. All right, saying these things. Now, you know, of course, he speaks through men, but hey, this is God saying these things. That ain't fearful to you, man. All right, you must believe that he is. That, you know, watching some video earlier, brothers is like, you know, people just lost the fear of the Most High, man. They don't know the fear of the Lord, man. Must believe that he is. You know, this isn't being taken lightly. You know, a brother talking to you or trying to correct you on something. All right, you gotta know that the Lord is speaking through that man. Okay. Me personally, I know Ashamayam called me. I'm sitting like, oh shit, like I'm trying to make sure my shit is in line. Mayam fucking hit me up yesterday, FaceTime me, but he came peaceably. But when he hit me up, I'm like, oh shit, like, damn. What? Hey, you know, I'm trying to make sure everything good, bro, because you know, the fear of the Most High, man.
Hey, that's
you
why,
know?
it's just last week the other my guy had pocket dialed me, but I didn't know. I had seen that he called, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I told the brother the same thing. I was like, brother, I did something wrong, brother. I'm like, I'm trying to examine myself. I'm like, damn, what I do? I'm getting the call.
Yeah, bro. But Jake don't have that fear, man.
Right.
Okay, you know, they don't have it, man. But you know, you're gonna learn it in these last days, and you're gonna know that he is. Okay, you're gonna know you ain't gonna be questioning who did this. You're gonna know. All right, as scripture say, as it's written, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Shai is the Lord. All right, because he gonna come with that adversity. He gonna come with it for you. All right, the Lord knows how to do it, man. Okay, he's gonna humble a lot of you and put the fear on you. The dread is gonna be on you, man. Okay, so
now we can get into the lot, and then we'll probably wrap it up after that.
Yeah.
Going back into the book of St. Luke, chapter 17, and going back at verse 27, it says, they did eat, they drink, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all.
Yeah, when you go into that destruction, they thought it was the end of the world how bad it was. Okay, going to Lot's daughters while they lay with him and got them drunk because they thought it was the end of the world. They say, shit, there ain't nobody else on this earth. That's how bad it was, But again, going to Sodom and Gomorrah, how bad it was, the Lord said that their iniquity was a sore. It was grievous unto him, and he couldn't deal looking at it no more. All right, the Lord wanted to destroy more cities, but Lot's like, let me just run over here to Zoar. All right, the Lord's like, all right, man. Even before that, in the previous chapter, we can get it a little bit of it in Genesis 19 chapter about because when Lot left the city, all right, and we're gonna get into Lot's wife, all right. But you go into Genesis 8, the 18th chapter, Abram, he was, talking to the Lord, make sure he said, is you gonna destroy everybody because of them? He said, can I get 50? If you find 50 righteous men, you get down to 30 to 10, all right. The Lord couldn't find no righteous men in that city, okay? Besides who? Besides Lot, right? And his family, okay? But really just Lot, right? Probably started like verse 15. He's getting to a point where he's leaving the city, I think.
Genesis chapter 19, verse
Matter of
15.
fact, even started verse up because I think Lot even warned he warned his son-in-law,
Yeah.
and they mocked him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh man. Oh, I started at 12. Yeah, I started at 12, bro. Genesis 19 and 12. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place.
Well, who was speaking a lot? Those angels, all right? The angels was dealing with Lot face to face, okay? They came in the likeness of men and they were dealing with Lot, all right? And the angels are asking, you got anybody else? Because what are the angels' job to do? Their job is to deliver and to destroy, all right? So the angels came down, and that's how you know the angels dealing with us. It says in Psalm 34th chapter, those that fear the Lord is an angel camped around about you.
That's right.
All right, to deliver you.
That's why something that the brother Kanakala, which I seen that video from Elder Apostle Ramon too. That's why he said we don't have the approval, physical approval of the angels saying like, yo, you doing good lesson, or beautiful. Nah, you gotta have the faith to believe that you're doing the right thing in the eyes of Yahweh. So how much more faith do we, bro's got a hell of faith, man.
Yeah. And that's why Scripture say was pretty much entertaining angels unaware. We never know, man. That's why it's important to pretty much be in tune with the Lord because the Lord is always going to speak to you. So you just got to pay attention. But go ahead.
Verse 13. For we will destroy this place because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord.
Exactly. So that stink, okay? The sin. That's why going to this place. That's going to show how this is what these two which is Sodom and Gomorrah and neighboring cities were doing. So how much more this whole earth right now, all right? Especially going to so-called America. That's why this is the only place that's prophesied to be completely annihilated, all right? Completely destroyed off the face of earth. When you read Revelation 18 chapter, it says the sins of this place have reached up onto heaven, all right? So Lord, again, he's led this place but up to even greater judgment.
Spiritual Sodom and Egypt.
That's it. And going to the point of the place, Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed was by fire and brimstone. Okay, and that's also likeness, rain coming down from heaven, fire from heaven. And that's these missiles. Go ahead.
And Yahweh hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, up, get you out of this place, for Yahweh would destroy the city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law.
Yep, so they mocked him. All right, it was like, man, this dude's crazy. He's bugging out. All right, because imagine the mindset he's in. He's in the pilgrim mindset. I gotta go. He's getting ready to move. He's like, he's trying to clear it. Because again, as soon as he left the city, the Lord destroyed the place. All right, and that's how it's gonna be in this time. We're trying to save as many people as we can. The angel literally asked, who else we have? And that's our immediate family. We pray for our mother, our father, whoever else is around you that friends of the prophets helps. Okay, who else? And these prayers, the Lord hears. All right, and that day, all right, man, the Lord's going to deliver them. All right, but here it is, the opportunity to be delivered. All right, think about Yahushua's brothers. All right, the ones that didn't believe. Okay, here it is, your brother is the son of the Most High. All right, you didn't believe. Okay, imagine how much because it skips from when he was like 12 and then he goes to his ministry. The ministry was like 30 something. So it's all type of stuff. Okay, you could add examples to believe, but they didn't believe. Okay, and he literally here Lot has angels with him, and his sons-in-law didn't believe. Okay, mocked him. All right, so how much more in this time? But go ahead.
I got a quick precept real quick. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Because they're in darkness, they don't know what the hell's going on. So how can you judge the time if you don't know prophecy? All right, you're trying to make plans and figure things out. Well, you're not acknowledging Yahweh Shai and His will. That's why ultimately, again, that's why this place, as Lord says, is going to be taken out as a thief in the night.
Genesis 19:15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, Yahweh being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city.
Yep, because Lot, was still being simple a little bit, That's why he even asked about leaving it up to another city the Lord's going to destroy. He's like, can I at least go over there? And pretty much the Lord being merciful and pleading with him. But Lot's being simple, and even still, the Lord literally grabbed him by the hand and made him leave. Okay, the Spirit of the Lord had him get up out of there, And that's how it's going to be in this time.
And mercy, that extended mercy, that's what's on us, the elect. That was a proof that the Lord is going to be merciful upon his elect. Pursuing 2 Ezra 16, hear, O my beloved, the days of trouble are at hand, but I'm gonna deliver you from the same.
Verse 17. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
Yep, and that was a commandment. Look not behind you. All right. So again, we'll get it. We'll close out. Remember Lot's wife. Well, you're going to get that word remember. All right. Because going to Lot's wife, again, she was longing for the world. Okay. She was longing for the possessions and things she left behind. All right. That's going to a person that's not fully convinced. All right. You hear the word and again, here it is your husband. The Lord's dealing with him and you're still looking back. Okay. So again, going to really think about it, it's a sad story because Lot's wife almost made it. She did, but she didn't endure on to the end. All right, and that's again another point of being fearful because you can get so close and still not be delivered. But go ahead.
Let me continue on this.
Did it leave the city? Let's get to a point.
All right.
Because you're gonna go to a point where it says Lot.
I'll jump to verse 22.
Yeah.
It says, Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of this...
So that angel wanted to get down.
Exactly.
It's like, y'all need to hurry up because we got things to do. They were itching. Them angels wanted to tear that place up.
It's like Revelation the 7th chapter. Another angel had to come to stop the other angel saying, Hurt not, until the servants be sealed. All right. I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then Yahweh rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven.
Imagine them cries, man. Here in that city. Because shit echoes out there. Boom, blowing up. People screaming. That's what's gonna happen, man. The same thing, man. And that's why the fear of the Lord is so crucial, man. All right, sulfur. The Lord really rained fire and brimstone from heaven, man, and melted that whole city. Okay, but you can still go see for yourself. Okay, that's another thing. You can go look for yourself. This is not a made-up story. This is factual. Okay,
It's still uninhabited.
It's still never. No one lives there.
You
can't go.
It's ash.
You got that as an example.
Exactly.
And the amount of sulfur is there, you can't find it nowhere on the planet Earth.
Wow.
Which goes to show you they came from the heavens. Like that concentration, that amount of sulfur that's there, it is you can't find that amount nowhere else. Goes to show you is it's a surplus that came from somewhere other than here.
And you can't mimic that event. All right, Esau, in your technology, you can't. All right, but again, going to the Lord, it says the weapons that are in his hand is pretty much Lord's of the nation. The Lord's using this man to build up, pretty much his own destruction.
Closest that Esau ever got was napalm.
Yeah.
That shit, he throw that shit over there in Vietnam. That shit burst into liquid. That shit get on everybody, bro. That shit had people's skin melting off. Of course the nukes, that they got, but as far as shit that they used and people have lived, You know, as far as like melting and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead and finish that up.
Verse 25, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from
Hey, even the plants got it. Even the plants got toasted. Okay.
Verse 26, but his wife looked back from behind him and she became a pillar of salt.
Yep, and that's left for an example. All right, you know, looking back. All right, we're not supposed to be looking back because even going, we're not going to get to it, but about you being on the housetop, don't be going back grabbing shit, you know, because again, that mindset is you're still in the world. All right, and you still be in the world, you're going to be destroyed. Okay, you're not supposed to love this world. You're supposed to be ready to detach. You're supposed to be already detached. All right, because this goes into the entanglements. Okay, because that's going to get you destroyed in the last days. All right, especially in the time of adversity, because this is going to go into the MOTV, the hour of temptation. You're looking back, you're going to stick your hand out, and guess what? A missile's coming. All right, but we'll just remember Lot's wife, and then we'll close up. But I think, did you read the part where it says, "Then shall be the Son of Man revealed"? Because you're going to the word "revealed," it goes into a pretty much apocalypse. You know.
Yeah.
What verse was it?
Okay, no, it's the next verse.
Yeah. Then we'll close out.
All right, come. This is the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 30. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
So the Lord prophesied. All right, he's prophesying here. Go ahead. Oh yeah, that's the same kind of atmosphere again. That's the same time the Lord's gonna be revealed. All right, you're going to that word revealed. It's apocalyptos. All right, what's the apocalypse? All right, going to revealing. All right, so that same condition, this is when the Lord's gonna show up. Okay, you know. So again, going into observing the times, watching times, we see all this stuff happen, man. That the things that are the Lord described, you know, his signs and things he said that's gonna happen before he returns. It's already here, Matthew 24th chapter, which is in the same parables in Matthew 24th chapter. All right, and we see very, very clear that this is that time. Okay, that's why the Lord said, you know, was in the Romans to the Apostle Paul, when you see these things come to pass, look up for your redemption, draw nigh. All right, destruction is an observable event. All right, and we see with our own eyes. Those we endure to the end see the destruction of the wicked. Man, the Lord has this thing set up. That's why we just ultimately say, let the righteous be righteous still, let the holy be holy still. We're not worried about you. Okay, you guys are gonna start looking for us real soon. Okay, those will be part of that number. And you're not going to find a lot of us, okay, at least be part of the Lord's elect. All right.
Because the scripture says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. You know, so we're going to be ducked off, man. You know, the Lord is going to have us in a secret place. You know.
So, anybody got any points? That's it. Okay. And so with that, you know, those will be edifying. As those ones all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Millstone. Peace and blessings, collective Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.
Nice little spring.